Democracy, oligarchy, dictatorship? What is a democracy and how does it compare? The United States is a democracy, a system where the power to make decisions ultimately rests with the people. But not all governments work this way. Let's explore what sets democracies apart and how they differ from other systems around the world. So what is a democracy? Democracy is a form of government where citizens, or the people who live in that country, have a say in how they are governed. In a democracy, the people have the power to vote, or choose leaders, or make decisions, and express their opinions freely. They are also protected by laws that guarantee their basic rights and freedoms, like the right to speak their minds or gather in groups to share ideas. In a democracy, regular elections, or events where people vote, are held so that citizens can choose leaders to represent them. This helps ensure that leaders are accountable or responsible for their actions and decisions. Democracy also limits government power through systems like checks and balances, which are rules that make sure no one branch or person has too much control. There are two main types of democracy, a direct democracy and a representative democracy. In a direct democracy, citizens directly make decisions about laws and policies. For example, in ancient Athens, citizens gathered to vote on every issue themselves. Today, a few places, like some areas in Switzerland, still use this method. Most democracies, including the United States, are representative democracies, meaning people elect leaders to make decisions on their behalf. While democracy focuses on giving power to the people, other governments operate very differently. These systems often place power in the hands of one person, a small group, or religious leaders. So let's look at a few that have been brought up in the media lately. Autocracy, rule by one. An autocracy is a system where one person has all the power and makes decisions without input from anyone else. This leader could be a monarch, like a king or queen, or a dictator, who's a leader who takes power by force or political control. In an absolute monarchy, a ruler inherits or gains through family their position and often has complete control over the country. For example, King Louis of France ruled with total authority, deciding everything from laws to taxes. Today, some monarchs, like in Saudi Arabia, still hold significant power, while others, like in the United Kingdom, only have ceremonial or symbolic roles. A dictatorship is another form of autocracy, where one leader seizes or takes power and keeps it through force, fear, or manipulation. Dictators like Adolf Hitler in Germany or Kim Jong-un in North Korea control every part of life in their countries, including the media, military, and schools. In these systems, citizens often lose many of their freedoms, and opposing the government can be dangerous. Oligarchy, rule by a few. An oligarchy is a government where a small group of people hold all the power. This group might be made up of wealthy individuals, military leaders, or people with important family connections. In ancient Sparta, for example, a small group of rich landowners controlled the government and made decisions for everyone else. Oligarchies often limit the rights of ordinary people. Decisions are made to benefit the ruling group rather than the larger population. Basically, law works to support those in control and limit those who are not. In some modern countries, critics argue that when a small number of wealthy or powerful people influence government decisions, it is similar to an oligarchy. Theocracy, rule by religion. In a theocracy, religious leaders are in charge and the government follows religious laws. For example, in Vatican City, the Catholic Church governs the country. In Iran, religious law based on Islam plays a big role in how the government runs. Theocracies often blur the line between religion and government, meaning that religious rules may become national laws. This can sometimes lead to restrictions or limits on people who follow different religions or who don't agree with the government's religious beliefs. So how does democracy compare? Democracy is different from these other forms of government because it focuses on individual freedoms and the participation of all citizens. In a democracy, people are free to express their opinions, vote for their leaders, and challenge or disagree with decisions they think are unfair. By comparison, autocracies, oligarchies, and theocracies often limit these freedoms, concentrating power in the hands of a single person, a small group, or religious authority. Not all countries fit perfectly into one category. Some governments are a mix of different systems. For example, a country might hold elections but still give a lot of power to military leaders or religious figures, or hold elections to keep people calm while actually giving power to the wealthy behind the scenes. Understanding how governments work help us see the values behind our own system. In the United States, democracy protects rights, encourages participation, and limits the power of leaders. When we understand and appreciate these principles, we can work to protect them and use our voices to make our government stronger and fairer for everyone. We can ensure that other systems, like oligarchy and dictatorship, don't take control. You've been listening to the Shatterpoint Pod.